Hodge! Woo!
Hello, hi everyone. So my name's Ben, and a lot of people think it's short for Benjamin. No, actually, it's short for Benton. I know, interesting, isn't it? Thank you, I chose it myself. And a lot of people wonder, well, why'd you pick Benton and not like a normal name? It's very simple, really. I can shorten it to Bent, and women know not to bother. Thank you. You seem like a very safe audience, and I like that. And I think, like, if you've ever been to other comedy gigs, sometimes, even as audience members, you might have experienced unsafe audiences. I know I have, and, you know, there's been times when me coming out has been quite dangerous, because there's certain groups that don't like people like me. You know, it's still being left-handed is still so difficult. And I actually had someone say to me that it made me a devil's minion. And that I was going to go to hell for it. Like, being a homosexual and a transgender man isn't enough to get me there in the first place. God. I like talking about being trans because I love puberty so much, I've decided to go through it twice. This is currently over 4 years in the making. So, like, as you can tell, it's going really, really shit. But it's weird because I'm trans and I'm gay. And before that, I came out as a lesbian. And even before that, I identified as bisexual. So if you really think about it, I've completed LGBT. Thank you. Thank you. And it's a question I get a lot, right? That people go, well, Ben, you came out to your parents as bisexual and then a lesbian. How did you then come out to them as trans? I say, I did this. I went, Mum, Dad, I have to get something off my chest. It's my tits, I'm a boy. I'm very lucky I had top surgery about 2 years ago, so that's where you get it all totally cut off. I was very lucky to have that. In case you don't know what like trans men do before having top surgery, is we use a thing called a binder, and what it does is it compresses your chest to give it a more masculine shape, right? You can get binders in a lot of different colours, like black and white to hide under clothing, nude colours to match your skin tone. I got green. Because do you know what's really going to help my crippling gender dysphoria and my crippling self-esteem? Having the torso of Shrek. No, but I feel confident in myself now. I do. I feel a lot better. But it's weird. I was at a gig recently where an act came up to me and went, "Oh, so you're trans?" And I was like, "Yeah." They went, "Oh my God, you're so convincing." What? Convincing? Like fucking J.K. Rowling's got me out here trying to infiltrate the trans community to see what we do in toilets, like a secret little undercover cop. But if she did do that, I wouldn't call myself an undercover cop. I'd call myself an undercover cock. Yeah, and I still deal with a lot of gender dysphoria, right? I feel I get it quite a bit about my hips. It's what boomers call childbearing hips. And, you know, sometimes I feel like they give me away, and I call it the Shakira theory because my hips don't lie. But actually, like, another thing that makes me a little bit nervous that I think gives me away as a trans person is using the toilets. And it's actually the way I hit the toilet bowl when I pee. So, like, you know, people with penises will hit the back of the toilet bowl because that's where the trajectory is going. People without penises would hit the middle of the toilet bowl. And I feel like the sound of the splashing water gives me away because of the angle. But actually what I've worked out is it isn't the angle that I hit the toilet bowl that gives me away. It's the fact that I fucking hit it in the first place. Like, I feel awful if I don't leave a pube on the toilet as I leave. I wanna talk a little bit about my family. My family are really supportive, not only for me being trans, but for me having an emo phase. And I'm not being funny. It was so shit that like going into a mosh pit is now on my bucket list. But I actually had a really interesting realization about my family quite recently, and particularly my dad. As a trans person, your teeny peeny grows, okay? Just to preface what this is all about. And you can do a thing called pumping, where hopefully it extends the size of your teeny peeny. So I looked into that, and I asked on Facebook, and I said, how long should I do it for? How many days in a week should I do it for to make sure I'm doing it safely? And I got, as the trans community does on Facebook, I got a load of lovely supportive comments giving me advice. And I got one comment that stuck with me. And this person said, don't bother. The size of your teeny peeny is genetic, so there is no point in pumping. And it was at that point I realized that my dad has a micro penis. So that's fun. But yeah, you've been genuinely great. I've still been a minority. I've been Ben Hodge. Thank you very much.
One more time, Ben Hodge!